Welcome to another Fireside chat where I invite our cybersecurity technical instructors to join me to talk about individual cybersecurity courses we offer through DDLS. Today we're going to be discussing what I think is a pretty cool course. It certainly has one of the coolest titles out of all the cybersecurity courses that we offer, EC Council's Certified Ethical Hacker. And joining me to discuss this course once again is Cremen. Louis, thanks for coming on today.
Good to be here. Let me just get into the hacking mood. Just give me a moment.
I was going to say, you looked like you were on fire there for a minute.
No, I did a little bit on fire. I think
here we go.
Now this is also on fire, but this is someone else on fire. So rather than myself. So let me just also get into the mood here. There we go. There we go. Can't be a hacker without a hoodie. So important that I make this as cringeworthy as possible.
Excellent. So the Certified Ethical Hacker. Look, I mean, I think that the title says it all, but what is this course about? What are students actually sitting on this course going to learn?
I love this course. This is a really good course. So it is it's a certified ethical hacking class. And whenever I use the phrase ethical hacking, people always ask me, does that mean you're hacking Russia and China? I'm like, no, that's not what ethics are. Please go read it. Go read an ethics book. But in this case, ethics that EC Council sort of pushes is really quite simple. It really is, are we performing an attack with permission? And that is really the main focus. And so whenever a organization deploys a new piece of software or a new system or a new something, they want to make sure it's secure. And you can do that through ticking boxes and going, oh, did we do this? Yeah, we did. But a really good way to get a good level of assurance is to actually try to attack it like an attacker. Perform the same things that an attacker would actually perform in order to breach the network, breach the system, breach the security, and get access to a database or to users or to personal information or sensitive data, whatever it may be. And so the Certified Ethical Hacking class has about 20 different domains. The first 2 days really heavily focusing on sort of network attacks, and then a lot of other attacks, including web application attacks, denial of service, sniffing packets, doing man in the middle. And then the new one looks at things like IoT hacking, OT hacking, like looking at industrial control systems, SCADA systems, power plants, and then also looking at cloud hacking, and then looking at cryptography, a very popular topic in security is cryptography. But looking at sort of a whole bunch of different topics and giving people labs, slides, knowledge to perform these attacks. But again, that ethical part is really that they are doing it with permission of the owners of the infrastructure they are performing the attack on.
Excellent. So it sounds like it's chock-a-block full of content and labs as well to practice their skills on. So if we think of people who are wanting to sit the Certified Ethical Hacker, who are they? What kind of professionals are coming in to the courses that you deliver, and why are they there?
Yeah, so I get a lot of people. I get a lot of different types of people. It is, if I'm honest, the main bulk have probably been in that system admin, network admin group that want to take their already existing knowledge and then get into the cybersecurity field, but do it in a way that doesn't sound boring. Like, that's really the first step there, is that, like, this course sounded interesting. I've done a lot of configuration. I've done a lot of risk based or implement a lot of controls and a lot of things. I want to see what an attacker can do. And so knowing what an attacker can do, I can then look into putting up the right defenses. That's probably the most common student I get into this class is, I want to know how attacks happen so I can create better defenses. The other side, the other side of the coin I get is people who want to learn how to do the attack so they can get into that penetration testing area. And penetration testing is basically the similar idea of ethical hacking, but a lot more methodology and a lot more report writing. A lot more professional, and so they want to go down this path, and this course is a really good foundation course for them to do that. because there's just a lot of knowledge that is sort of passed across in this class. So that is sort of the two main types of people, but I have had others. I have had people who have development backgrounds, like web development backgrounds, and go, okay, I want to know how web attacks work, as opposed to system and network engineers. I've had people who want to understand how information security works, and they want to know it from the attack perspective, because that understanding the attacks is a great way to then focus defenses, or at least to sort of know what's out there. So I do get a lot of different types of people, but again, two main focuses is the people who want to go from their current field into the security field via a sexy topic like a CEH, or the people who want to get into the penetration testing and using this as their first stepping stone to a greater certification or into a position in that area.
Yep. And so this course, it runs for 5 days. There's a lot of labs included as well. When do they do these labs? Like we understand that they won't necessarily do them during the 5 days, but are the labs there for them to go back and actually try different attack vectors, different systems, different methodologies, and I guess to build on those skills? And is having these labs, is it a requirement to actually do them all if they're going to sit the exam, or is this more to help them hone their skills and understand, what each step does to achieve the end result?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So when we look at the labs, so I think they give, EC Council gives us over like 75 labs. I think I run about maybe 40 or 50 of them throughout the week. So I do get through a pretty good chunk of them, but I certainly go through all of them. In fact, I basically handpick some and go, I like these ones, don't worry about too much these ones. So we go through a lot of content, and then we go through labs. We do content labs for 5 days. And they get access to those labs for 6 months. So once they're sort of using it throughout the class, they can continue their studies for 6 months, or they can just set up as a sandbox. They can just play around, try things, do it again, because we went through a bit quite quickly in the class, or they can really download their own tools in this sandbox, again, have a play around rather than setting up their own environment. Do they need to use this to pass their exam? No. It is not a necessity to go through all 75 labs. Certainly helps to go through the lab content. They get an exam voucher from us. The exam voucher is for the multiple choice exam. Getting through a lot of content is good enough for the multiple choice exam. Obviously, labs will always help. There is a practical exam, and the labs will certainly help the practical exam if anyone wants to go down that path, but we don't give them a voucher for that one. If they do both, they get what's called a CEH Master, which is something I've got, and that basically means you've passed both the EC Council exams. But majority of people go down just the multiple choice path, because then they get the CEH certification. Excellent.
So once they've sat CEH, what would be next for them? What would you recommend as the next steps after CEH?
It depends on the type of person. I've had students that have used this to get into the security field, but not stayed in the ethical hacking space, not stayed in the penetration testing space. They've stayed in the defense space. Yeah. And if they do that, I've had a few students do this, they've sat with me in CH, and then a year or 2 years later have come sat as certificate class with me, because they're now at a more senior level that they